Hello, my name is Angela Dorio. I'm a PhD from NC State. I just defended my PhD dissertation a month ago, and I will graduate officially in the spring. So I'm in the awkward position of not knowing if I'm a student or not. I'm recording this video with the purpose of sharing my experience of doing both my preliminary exam and my final defense online on Zoom, because both happened in 2020. So I did my prelim in June 2020, and after procrastinating it for a while, actually. And I did my defense on December 17th. Um, so I'm from the College of Textiles. My department is the Textile and Apparel Technology and Management, and my PhD program is called Textile Technology Management. So the way our department and course of work works is that we have 4 qualifying classes which are mandatory for everyone, and after you complete them you can do your preliminary exam, which is a presentation of your chapters 1 to 3 or 1 to 4 of your dissertation. So usually it's mainly literature review, methodology, and if you have any first results. So my preliminary exam was pretty much chapters 1 to 4 of my dissertation, and it was a defense basically of those chapters. So the way it worked was I did a 40 minutes presentation, and then the audience could ask questions, and then my committee asked the questions. And pretty much the defense in December worked in the same way. I presented my research in 45 minutes ish, and then there were questions from the audience, questions from the committee, and then they told me that it was like an unconditional pass, and so I was done. So when I first approached the idea of doing my preliminary exam online, I felt a mix of emotions between being relieved and being scared. So I was scared because of the technical difficulties. I was thinking, what if, the day my internet connection turns out to be poor and the exam gets interrupted, or some other technical issue basically was what was scaring me the most. But on the upside, I was relieved because I get extremely stressed by presenting in public and having usually like the audience looking at me while I talk. If someone, gives me like some look, or they get distracted, or really anything, I get very, very nervous because I cannot focus on what I'm saying, and I keep looking at the people way too much. So I felt relieved because when you are in presentation mode on Zoom, you cannot see the audience, and for the sake of I think like saving on the internet connections, I'm not sure on the technicality, but to have the internet connection being better, usually everyone turns off their camera anyway. So it's pretty much like you talking to your computer with your presentation in front of you, which was comforting for me because it was pretty much like rehearsing, and I was in my home, so I didn't have to get ready in advance and take the car and drive and maybe, like have half an hour where I didn't know what to do. it was like really nice to just log in, like 15, 20 minutes before the exam started, and have all the time before that to relax and drink chamomile tea. I had, I think, like 3 cups of chamomile tea, but I appreciated not having to be there in person. And for the same reason, I appreciated being online, doing my final defense online as well. And moreover, at my final defense, my family could attend, which was great because my family is pretty much scattered in Europe between Italy, Switzerland, Germany. So it's really hard to have them attend like an event all together usually. So Zoom gave me the benefit of having my whole family attending, and it was really nice. It was great because my parents are not very familiar with this kind of technology, like Zoom. And so we had to log in like 30 minutes in advance with them. So, to check that everything was okay. So I could talk to them a little bit before the exam started. And, and I felt better having them there. And again, during the presentation, I felt much, much better not seeing anyone, just like seeing my slides. And actually, like on one slide, I started, I thought I was looking at another slide. I got, confused in a moment. And so I said something that really didn't make any sense. And I said it like very fast. So I think no one really understood what I was saying, and maybe someone blamed it on the connection. But if we were in person, I would have felt obligated to, explaining what I was blubbering in that, 10 seconds. But because we were online, and my brain immediately went into keep going mode, like it's online, who cares, somehow. I just kept talking. And so I appreciated not having people look at me in a weird way, like, what? Because I literally blubbered something that didn't make any sense. And so it was very nice not to have people looking at me. And so I didn't stop. I didn't have to explain myself. I just, kept going with my presentation. And eventually it was like no one even noticed. On the not so bright side, my final defense was kind of sad for me, like not was what I was expecting, because video calls, once everyone is done and you press the red end button, it's like done. And so it was quite sad for me not to have my family and friends around me to celebrate. Of course, everyone called, like my parents, my in-laws, my sister, like everyone called, and I spent like a very good hour and a half after the defense on the phone talking to them. And it was nice, but it was not the same thing as, for instance, when I did defend my law degree dissertation in Italy. My family was there in the same room. So, and as soon as I was done and we left the room, we were all together. We went out for dinner to celebrate. And so it was really different. Like, I was so nervous that day, like my PhD defense day. I defended at 3 p.m. So by 5 I was done, and by 6 I was done with calls and stuff like that. And so my husband and I by 7 were asleep already, because it's big emotions to process. So we felt really, really tired. And I'm sharing this because, sometimes things are not what we expect. And, with PhD, it feels like you have been working so much for so many years, and then having your big day turn into just like a video call doesn't feel right and doesn't seem fair. And so there are definitely mixed emotions when addressing this kind of situation. But, like on the bright side, if the presentation, like the final defense, weren't on Zoom, my whole family could have never attended altogether. So, I try to find something that cheers me up anyway. So, a couple of tips that I would like to share are try to, of course, on the technical side, try to make sure that your computer or your laptop is charged, that there are no big I'm sorry, that there are like not like big administrative things going on, like downloads or updates and stuff like that. Double check your internet connection. And on the personal side, I know it can be really hard on you and very, very hard to accept that things don't go as planned and don't go as you wish they did. But it really helped me to find at least one thing that made the whole experience better. So luckily I could find at least two. One was my family attending, and two was having the time to drink all 5 cups of chamomile tea before my final defense. Like I spent all day drinking chamomile tea and trying to relax. And I also have this feeling of being safe in my house. So I took advantage of that too during the um, the defense. I did arrange, like my desk in a way that made me feel better. I had my, pictures and nice things on the side so I could look at them if I felt like getting too nervous. And I wish you good luck, whether it is a preliminary or a final defense. And I'm sure you got it. You do. All right. Thank you so much for taking the time to listening to me. And good luck. Bye.